Let's see what we got here. I was trying to get everything situated. Sort of an impromptu. I guess I'll wait and see if anybody clamors on board here. See what we got, right? Anybody join in is the question. Hey, we got one. Welcome aboard. Don't know who is all gonna join. It's a nice snowy day today, so I decided to do a live video since there's not much else I was gonna do outside. I had plans, but one, shooting a video outside in a snowstorm is not my idea of fun. Not to mention, if you drop anything, it's gone, and I don't want to do that. So let's see what we got going on here. See if I get comments set up. I got that going, and we'll just wait and see if we get a few. We got a couple people. Well, they're very quiet. Just trying to get things going and get a few folks to join up and watch this a bit. Going to start talking about a few things that I really am working on, and any other questions folks might have concerning any repairs or anything else. We got a few folks that are going through things. The 2.0 turbo is apparently giving one of our members a hard time, and this is now, I think, as far as the group goes, the second turbo failure on the 2000 or the 2-liter turbo, and I think it was a wastegate that is essentially gone. And as with all things, Ford is true to their word. They sell everything as assembly, so you can't buy a part. You have to buy an assembly. Isn't that sweet? Gotta love that. But the thing is, the 2.0 turbos are going to start popping up. It's only a matter of time, just like anything else popped up with the 3.5 and the 3.7. After it's got a few miles under its belt, all weaknesses will be found. And the turbo wastegate seems to be a notable thing popping up. We'll see how many more pop up in the future. The 2-liter turbo has been around since 2012. It's been running, and I don't know. We'll see. 2012. That means it's been out for now, what, five years, really? So a little over 5 years. That means average person might be driving it 12,000 miles, 60,000, 70,000, 80,000 miles on them. Yeah, we're starting to get some miles under the belt on these things, and we're going to start seeing what is going on with them as far as failures. Let's see, who do we got? We got Jack White. Got a question here. Nothing about cars for our host. Pancakes or waffles, peanut butter, crunchy or smooth, banana or apple? Sounds like breakfast to me there, John. And we don't do peanut butter at my house because CB, my youngest one, is deathly allergic to peanuts. So, yeah, that's like not a good thing. So we avoid that. But I love peanut butter, so does the rest of the family. But unfortunately, we don't want to do that. Why is the lens foggy on the left side? I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe it's some of the oils or something. I don't know. Is that better now? Is it not foggy anymore? Let me know. No housekeeping going on here. Had it outside earlier, so that might be part of the problem. Dog licked it. Who knows? Is it clean now? Let's see. There you go. Is that better? Not like a fingerprint smudge to get things going for you. Let's see. All right, I'm glad you're happy. I got everything cleaned up for you now. Oh, it is snowing. It has been snowing since last night. And, yeah, it's a lot of snow. This is definitely qualifying as a snowstorm. And it doesn't look like it's going to let up anytime soon yet. They're talking for a while yet. So, and it's coming down heavy. It's a heavy, wet snow. And that's heart attack snow there, buddy. It's not the light powdery stuff. We're talking heavy, wet snow, and it's thick and it's on everything. So we'll just have to wait and see. What is the horsepower on the 2.0 turbo? Oh my gosh. I think I got that dictionary open for my brain here. I want to say it's about 275, 280. It doesn't put out as much horsepower, I don't think, as the 3.5, but it puts out more torque. So it goes there. Yeah, 240. So it definitely doesn't put out as much horsepower, but the torque on the side of it is just slightly above the torque of the 3.5. That's where I remember. So it does a good job because of the torque. It's all about torque on that engine. And I had a little, believe it or not, if you want to know what torque is, I'll explain it. I had a 1981 or 1983 Pontiac Grand Am. And this thing had a 2.5 liter engine in it, and it was a 4-cylinder. And that thing had more torque in it than you could believe off the line. Okay, the way they had it geared and everything else, it only put out 90 horsepower. That's it. 2.5 liter, 90 horsepower. Okay, so our engines have come a long ways for a 2.5 liter to only put out 90 horsepower to today. But I will tell you, that thing had some serious torque off the line, but it was a gutless wonder after about 70 mile an hour. It had nothing left. Yeah, there's a lot you can do off the line and get things going. And I always tell people, I would have my money on if you had the 2.0, and I've seen races overseas. They did a race between the 3.5 and the 2 liter EcoBoost for the Ford Edge, and they did a drag race on it, and the 2 liter won. I'd expect that. But here's the thing. If we had a lot more miles to go, if we had a longer run, say it was a 2-mile run, or 3, and here's where I'm getting with this EcoBoost. Yeah, it's great, gives you lots of torque, you're off the line, and you're going to win the drag race. Barely, but you're going to win it over the 3.5 and the 3.7. You are. 3.7 is going to be behind the 3.5 if you got a Sport, because the tires are too big, so the 3.5 is going to win. The weight and everything else, the unsprung weight on the suspension and everything for the 3.7 Sport, the 3.5 is faster. But going back to the 2 liter and the 3.5 run, here's what's going to happen. In the quarter mile, bang, Bob's your uncle, 2 liter wins every time. It's going to happen. What's not advertised is if you took off the limiter off of both of them, okay, so they could run freely and not be held back at 111 mile an hour, and ran a 3-mile run, had a 3-mile stretch of run that you could actually do, or even on a round track, okay, the 3.5 would win. Now, why would the 3.5 win? It's pretty simple. The 3.5 is an NA engine. It can keep building its power band. That's right, it keeps generating power. Granted, it'll get to the peak where it hits its peak torque and everything else. But what happens too is the turbo. You guys think turbos are great, but they are. But for long run like that, eventually the turbos are going to get hot. Eventually you're going to start losing some power. And eventually your torque curve is going to drop. And eventually you're going to slow down. It's just a fact of life. Okay, it's just a fact of life on that. It's great, fast, quick run speeds, but longevity, I'd put my money on the 3.5. Essentially the turbo and everything become all heat soaked. It wouldn't be generating, because heat is your enemy. It may be your benefit to get the turbo going, but eventually all that heat gets way up in there and bang, you know, you're not going as fast as you wanted to. So I'd put my money on a long run, 2 to 3 miles on a 3.5. It would not care about heat. It wouldn't care at all. It would just keep trucking, and it would have ultimately end up with a higher speed and thus win the race. But it would be a close race, but it would still win. Just like the drag race, the 2L wins, 3.5 would win the long haul. And that's my belief in it. You guys can call me a liar, whatever you want, but you know, that's where the displacement thing comes into work. So, you know, no replacement for displacement. Well, in some cases that's true, in some cases it is not. But in that case, yeah. Let's see. Kevin says Twin Scroll Eco is 248 and a 2.0. 280. Let's see. Drain P2 after 3,300 miles and the fluid was blue. Well, Kevin, did you put blue fluid in it? I don't know. Maybe he put pink in there and it turned blue. Or, I don't know. Who knows what he did? It's blue. We'll take his word for it. Blue fluid is good, maybe. But we'll see what the test results come out. Right, Kevin? That will be the ultimate sign when you get that tested. Then we can know if it's any good or not. You know, maybe you put Dawn dishwashing detergent in there. That blue stuff, that might be what he put in there. Maybe that's why it's blue. It'd be lubrication, wouldn't it? Of course, the suds would get you eventually. Oh. Mama has nothing to do with my housekeeping in here. She stays out of my office, which is good, because I'd never find anything if she came in and cleaned. Let's see. Synthetic oil is a must with a turbo engines. You know, that's a true statement, Corey, but here's another true statement. Synthetic engine oil is good for all engines. That's an absolute must. If you're running, think about this. You're running a Motorcraft synthetic blend. Why in the world would you run a blend? It's almost like, wow, you know, why would you do it? It doesn't make any sense. Why would you buy something that's blended like that? Either stay conventional or go synthetic. There are so many benefits to a synthetic oil over a conventional that I don't even know why you'd want to have a blend in your vehicle. It makes no sense. You're going to have a higher probability of your engine coking up and getting all that varnish all over and everything else because you have conventional in there mixed with synthetic. You're not going to be able to stop it. That's a witch's brew. I can't say I did initially when they came out with synthetic blend because the synthetics were so expensive. People started doing synthetic blends, trying to get a benefit of synthetics. But these days, synthetics are everywhere. Why even bother with a conventional oil? I don't even burn conventional oil or put conventional oil in my lawnmower or my log splitter, my rototiller, or any other equipment like that. I don't do that. My generator for electricity, it's all synthetic. I don't put any of that conventional stuff in there. I want them to run. I don't want them to blow up. So, because they sit and everything else. So, you know, you're better off with synthetic. I have proven that you can go many, many miles with a synthetic that I would not do with a conventional oil. And I do that every month, folks. Remember, I do 200 or more hours on my Edge. That comes out to well over 10,000 miles. I am going past the countdown clock on Lou. And Lou's got 230,000 miles on her. And engine test results are excellent every time. And that's exceeding the 10,000 mile mark, folks. Yes, exceeding it every oil change. And running 1 quart of oil out of it low. Yes, generally by the time I change, I am 1 quart low on oil by the time I change. So I'm not running 6 quarts through it. I am running 5 when I drain. Because I've lost 1 quart going through the breather tube from the valve cover. So stop and think about that. Synthetic oil, over 10,000 miles, and I lost 1 quart of oil in the process. And I have great engine test results. So, yeah, it's the oil. It's nothing more than oil. I know we're stuck on oil here lately, mostly because my oil testing series. And trust me, folks, I'm going to get back to making the regular videos. This is a special project, and it has an end. It is not going to go on forever. I will tell you that we're on episode 6. There are 8 episodes, 16 oils altogether, I think it is, that are going to be done. And then I have 6 gear loops. Then I'll be done with the series. I'll do a wrap-up of the oils, my top 3 that are, my opinion, the better choices. And then I'll do a top 3 on the gear loops. And that will end the series. So the series is almost done. I got the last oil sample yesterday for the gear lube. And that means I have 6 gear lubes. So I have 2 more videos to make on that. And then I start the summaries. And the summaries will be available. And then all the documents for everything I've done will be in PDF format and be available to every one of you to download, look at, do whatever you're going to do. It'll all be there. Okay? So that's how it's going to work out and how we are going to have the information for you. So you can look at it. You can print it out. Have it in your hands. Look on it on your computer. Whatever you're going to do, you will be able to say, do I want this oil in my engine? And I would like you all to help me out on this too a little bit. If you are in other car groups, I'm trying to keep this so it is not just a Ford Edge centric thing, but I try to address in my videos for just engine oil. So if you see in your mind that you have the YouTube video playing and you copy and paste it to another car group you're in, it's not Ford centric, it's 5W20 oil and gear lubes. Share it. Help me promote it out there and get more views on it. And I appreciate all of you that have viewed it. But the gear lubes, the oils are surprising. I know I've said that, and I know the 31st. You know, I got an announcement coming up and everything else. I've been playing with toys and having a great time, but I got to let you guys know what the toys are here eventually, right? Otherwise, you're all going to get out of my sandbox and go home. So I'm going to have to eventually cough up some of the toys. Otherwise, y'all just going to leave me hanging. So we'll get there, but you know, it's going to be a long-term process. Let's see, what else we got? Let's see. I got a couple other questions I'm going to go over here and check out. Let's see. We got 3.5 peak horsepower at 6,500 RPM and the 2.0 peaks at 5,500 RPM. That sort of goes into my statement about when one runs out of gas, vice the other. You know, the power torque curve and everything goes in line with the peak horsepower and RPM. They coincide. So once that little 4-cylinder spins up, that's all she's got. That's it. So let's see. Corey Lee, synthetic oil is a must with turbo. Yeah, we read that. Sudden stop, Andrew says. Rear-wheel drive has rear differential gearing. Is front-wheel drive direct or is it geared similar? I'm familiar with trucks with a 370 and 420 rears making dramatic changes coming off the line. We have, essentially, Thomas, somebody might be able to look it up while I'm talking here, but the RDU, rear differential unit in the Ford Edge, of course, is not, it's a highway gear. It's not meant for crawling up rocks, so you're not going to have low gearing in it. But it's all driven off of the transmission, and then, of course, coordinates with the PTU, power takeoff unit, and or power transfer unit, and it's just not a rock crawler, so it's going to be a tall gear on it, and you're not going to get much out of it on that. But as far as gears, I do not know what they are. I just have never looked it up. I would if I had to, and who knows. My next Edge will probably be an all-wheel drive, and I'll research it even more. And then I'll have it committed to my old memory somehow or written down. But I'm sure somebody here will tell you what they are. Let's see. Dyno oil is only good for breaking in an engine. Well, it depends how much you want to break it, right? Wouldn't do it long. Let's see. Update on this teasing you've been doing for the 31st. Any update? Let's see. I did some more updates earlier, and I was working on things and putting everything into its place, making sure everything fit. I've been working on it and had phone calls about it, and I'm thinking it's up and running. At least I had it running, so we'll see. But everything seems to be popping on all cylinders. I will do some fine tuning. I'll eventually get it to where I want it to be exactly, and then with y'all's help on the 31st, I should be able to break it out of the box and say, here it is, folks, and then you all will have a great time. So that's the whole point behind it. I like to share. You guys know that, so I am sharing, and we'll leave it at that. That's as much as I'm going to give you, but I do know that once I let you all into my sandbox and let you have at my toys, you will have a great time. Okay? So I plan on sending it to every one of you. Yes, I will send it to every one of you. So let's see. Yes, Kevin, Lou is thirsty because Lou drives a lot for long periods of time and therefore has to have her oil. She gets her fix on a monthly basis, so we'll do that. See, Chip, catch can issue on the EcoBoost turbos also. Why do you think the manufacturers don't craft a PCV system that keeps the intake valves from coking up on the DI engines? Chip, you're not following along very well. Here's the deal. They are not going to be DI engines. Yes, they are adding a different fuel system to them. And they will be pumping fuel into those intakes to clean the effects of the DI system out, the direct injection. Their gasoline direct injection, they're going to be adding some nice flavorful high test to the whole mix so it can actually clean and purge out through the detergents in the fuel the coking that's happening on these direct injection engines. So look forward to the new EcoBoost having a new fuel delivery system that will help alleviate the coking that is currently happening, and that will be in the next model year, if not already this year. So they will get that problem fixed out. Fixed up. They do know what's causing it, and Ford has designed the fuel system and delivery system to help alleviate that problem. So, those of you who have current EcoBoosts are going to be stuck with that deal, but the new ones will have the new fuel system to help alleviate that issue with the coking of the intake. So, Chip, that's the solution. Unfortunately, no solution for the current EcoBoost. Something you'll just have to work with and live with. Let's see. See, I better fill up before the 31st or I'll run out of gas. No, I won't run out of gas. My gas tank's empty right now. I drove all the way from Omaha to Davenport on 1 tank of gas, and I got a 1/4 tank left in the tank, so I'm good to go until Monday morning when I got to go to work, and then I'll fill it up and head to work. That's pretty much my day anyway on Monday. Let's see. Michael, how you doing, Michael? Let's see. Kevin says the direct injection equals fail because they figured that out. It should be avoided. It was based on VW teachings and leading the way. Okay, so there you go. Let's see. I guess Kevin says the Team RXP has a catch can set up that will help fix something on your 2.7 Eco. So maybe he'll post a link to that in the Facebook group so you can all see it. Like I said, my next Edge is gonna be a Sport. It's gonna be a 2.7 turbo, and it will open up a whole new world of videos for me to play catch up with y'all. I didn't start making videos on the first gen until the 1.5 was out. So, go figure. I got catch up to do, but I think by the time I get one, it will be just in time, and I'll hit it hard and heavy and get a lot of videos out there on there. And that includes replacing parts like I do, and we'll get a lot of good videos out of the 2.7 Sport. Reason I'd buy a 2.7 Sport now is just because it's got a drain plug in the PTU. I know I'm lazy, but you know I'd feel more confident with the all-wheel drive if I had that system there already established. So call me lazy on it, whatever you want, but I knew to wait. I'm feeling more confident now about the all-wheel drive system. Truly am. We have figured out, I think, frequency is key. Ford has come back and said that yes, we'll install a drain plug. Yes, it is a lifetime fluid. Yes, we have put up service intervals for changing the fluid. Yes, it's a lifetime fluid. Yes, drain it once in a while and then replace it with a fluid. And I'm going to tell you, I've got the other part for Ford figured out, and that is what gear lube to use in your PTU. And let's see, that will be the last gear lube video. And then you all know the cat will be out of the bag on the last gear lube video. So we're talking, let's see, I think the second is the first gear lube video, then every 3 days. So 2nd, 5th, 8th of April, if you're looking for it. I think around the 8th of April will be the gear lube video. If you want to watch any gear lube video, that'll be it. But watch the other ones too, because you need to know this information. And some of you will probably actually feel bad about the gear lubes you're using. I don't mean to make it seem that drastic, but if I was, knowing the data I know, I would feel bad for any gear lubes I'm using right now. I don't mean to laugh, but it's so funny, folks. I've learned so much on this oil series and the gear lubes that I'm going to just let the cat out of the bag right now on one oil, and that is Mobil 1. Y'all being suckered. And I'll put that right out there. Y'all being suckered. In my opinion, based on the facts and the data from the testing, I will tell you, and you've seen the Mobil 1 videos already, man, it is nothing but marketing. Mobil 1 used to be, the #1 oil. Come on, folks. Look at the Walmart oil. Look at the other oils I've already released the videos with. Look at the data. Look at the O'Reilly oil beats Mobil 1. O'Reilly store oil is better than any Mobil 1 oil out there. Kid you not. I got the data right there. You guys watch it. You will know O'Reilly, CarQuest, SuperTech are all better than Mobil 1. Go figure. So, if you want to continue using Mobil 1, do it. If I had the choice between Mobil 1 and a store brand like I just mentioned, I would go and buy 6 quarts of O'Reilly motor oil and run it in my car before I'd run Mobil 1. I have used my Mobil 1 for the last time, with the exception of my cocktail. My next cocktail, you guys haven't answered up. What am I going to do with the cocktail? You guys need to go on that poll question, and in all seriousness, I know you like to have fun, and I love fun too, but tell me what 6 you want me to run together. You know, some high ends, some low ends. Let me know. I'm going to do a motor oil cocktail because I have like 18 different quarts of oil sitting here that I have to use. I have to have your input to mix it. And I really don't care because I know that any one oil you pick is going to be countered by another oil. Unless you guys pick the lowest end oils for the first oil change. I might have to change that one up. But like if you picked all Mobil 1 or something, holy cow, I'd have to dump a couple quarts of red line in there and make up for it. That, you know, pick out what you want. I'll do the motor oil cocktail the way you guys decide you want to do. Whoever gives the highest number of votes for whatever mixture. You know, and I'll do that. I am not scared of any one of those oils because I know one oil is going to make up the difference for the other oil. And so therefore they're all synthetic, and I'm not scared of that either. So I'll do it. I'll put whatever it is. I'll throw my filter in there, and I'll get the oil changed, and I'll put the other one in blueberry. And we'll get this, because, you know, I'd hate to waste the oil because I got so many quarts sitting here. So I want to use them up. And I've proven that it doesn't matter. You can dump 6 different quarts of oil in, and quite frankly, possibly create your own best oil for your engine. You know, based on some testing I've done, I came out with some better test results by mixing the cocktail than I did running a straight single brand, because I had the best of both worlds. I had some additives that were included with other oils together, and it actually came out to be an overall better test. So there's no one single oil that's going to be better for your vehicle in that aspect. If you want to, you know, say if you wanted to spend a little bit of money, so you went out and bought 1 quart of red line oil, spent a lot of money for it, but then you saved money and went out and bought the O'Reilly oil. Well, here's the deal. That 1 quart is going to add to the overall protection factor of the O'Reilly oil and bump up your numbers, bump up your protection in the Molly B and other things. And then the O'Reilly's going to toss in, I think O'Reilly had titanium in it, so it's going to have the titanium in it. The calcium content will go up because the red line will have more calcium in it, and borons and everything else. So overall, that red line will bump all your numbers up and make that cheap CarQuest or O'Reilly oil even better. Yeah, and only for the price of 1 quart. So you can do that. And there's people that I found from Blackstone that do that all the time. So, you know, there's no telling. Let's see. I'm trying to see what everybody's doing here. When I picked up my 14 this week, Andrew says, I asked to get the PTU flushed. Service said it is usually around 100,000 miles. Oh, Andrew, did you believe him? You've been in this group long enough. Oh, Lord. Andrew, if I were you, I would have that PTU emptied and drained. If you want to wait another couple more weeks or so, you will know exactly what fluid to put in your PTU. since you've gone this far, 2 more weeks probably ain't gonna kill it. Maybe, but we hope not. But if that's the case, then you will know what PTU gear lube to put into your brand new to you Edge PTU, and then you will be golden. Yes, you will be golden. Yeah, so we'll go with that, and then you'll know exactly what's going on. Let's see. Calcium is good. No more slouching. Yes, calcium. Well, I'm afraid this calcium is more like a soap. That's really what it is, as far as that. It is more like a soap. So, not that you could take a bath with it, but it definitely is there. But let's see. Hi. Oh, Koi. Real soon you're going to see the Platinum, Pennzoil Platinum matchup coming up. Yes, I finally tested the Pennzoil Platinum, and you are matched up against an oil, and I forget which one I matched you up against, but it will be the Battle Royale, no doubt. I think that actually when I did the Pennzoil one, and I can't remember which oil I pitted it against. It was almost an unfair comparison. But the Pennzoil held its own. Yeah, I think it held its own pretty well, even though it sort of seemed like an unfair matchup. It held its own, and I will tell you that it's a decent oil. It really is. I got to give Pennzoil credit, not without giving the end away. I'm not going to say it's number 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, but it's definitely an oil that you can use. We'll tell you all that. It is definitely an oil. So Koi, if you're watching, I'll give you a thumbs up on your Pennzoil beliefs. Give you some hope. I mean, the fact, and I will be, if you guys pick the Pennzoil, I will dump the Pennzoil along with the other 5 in my Edge, and then Koi will have a little bit of a Pennzoil test, I guess. I don't know why. I've never been drawn to Pennzoil. So we'll see. Let's see. Would I say Pennzoil is in the top 9 of 18? Definitely in the top 9. Easily in the top 9. So we'll give it that much. Let's see. Paul, he says he heard a clunk and a vibration under his car and driving the car and drive, and there's a vibration in the engine. Well, gosh, diagnosing that over the internet, that's always a problem. I would say the clunk could be drivetrain related, could be axle failure, or it could be a motor mount issue or a trans mount or something of that nature. Holy cow. It is a blizzard out there again. You guys won't believe it. It is just, I can't even see across the railroad tracks. It just out snow. But anyway, Paul, you're going to have to check what's clunking under there. You may have to investigate a few parts, jack her up, lift her, and start pulling and tugging to see what you're talking about. Maybe even put it in gear and turn the wheel or something and see if you hear any binding or anything. It could be struts. You could have a strut mount that popped. Okay? So you might have to replace your struts. If you haven't replaced your struts, strut bearing mounts fail. They make clunking sounds too when you turn the wheel. So, and I would say that's probably, if you have never replaced your struts yet, and having driven through Atlanta, you might want to check your struts. Holy cow. I drove through Atlanta on that trip. Yeah, you might want to check those strut bearing mounts and struts, especially if you haven't replaced them yet. Bill, let's see. Question me. Bill, did you do a Castrol Synthetic 520 in the green bottle? I don't remember. No, it was a black bottle. Isn't the green bottle? I thought the green bottle was like... Or are you talking the magnetic? Is that what you're talking about, Mike? I think the magnetic comes in a 520 in a green bottle. We did not test that. There may be other oils we test in the future, that we can do. I want to do an AMSOIL, but I'm not going to buy a membership and pay for 1 quart of AMSOIL. I'm just not going to do it. So if any of you have a 520, a quart of 520 or something like that, AMSOIL, if you want to donate it to me, I'll do it, but I'm just not going to pay for a whole membership. I know I'm just not going to buy AMSOIL for that fact. I do the oils that you can generally order online or get at the store. If you got to have a membership to buy it, I'm not going to go out of my way to do that. I'm trying to keep costs down, okay? So, that's just the way it is. I just don't want to spend the money on a membership. These oil tests are expensive enough, and I do have a budget I live on. And I will put a plug here. If you guys like these oil series and what we're doing, I was supported by donations in part for this oil testing. But if you really truly want to help me, in all seriousness, folks, I went through a lot of work and effort to get those T-shirts put together, and that is one way you can get a T-shirt and, in a way, donate at the same time by buying a T-shirt. So if you want to help support me in any way, buy a T-shirt. You get something for it. It costs you $20 or whatever plus shipping, and you get a T-shirt, and I get a little bit of money to help with the channel and help pay for this stuff, because it definitely does cost money, and everything that I do costs money for this and what I'm doing. And I guess my plea to you all is, if you want to really truly help me, I'm not asking for donations, but if you buy a T-shirt, that helps. And you get something back in return. So, go on the site. It's right there in the pinned comment section. Click on AK Printing and buy T-shirts. Okay? That greatly helps me. I have sold a grand total of 4 T-shirts in 5-6 months that they've been out. Yeah. Okay. I get it. You guys don't like my T-shirts. That's all I can tell you. I try things. If they don't work, then if I don't have anything coming out of this in the future, the T-shirts will go away. I can't see, having the company hang on to something that is essentially not going to be used, participated in, nor available, in that aspect. So, if you want, go ahead and do that. Let's see. Yeah, Paul, I just told you I'm just not going to buy a membership and order a case or whatever, and order over $200. I'm not doing it. I don't plan on using AMSOIL. I did it for that one thing, for one testing, and just not going to do it. So, again, that's where it's at. I got a little bit of a quart of 020 hanging around someplace, but I want to test a 520. So that's where it's at and what I'm going to do. Let's see. Yes, Ron, Red Line is part of the oil series testing. Granted, it is one of the more expensive ones too, but it is definitely in the oil series testing. I like Red Line. I really do. I like Red Line oil. It's good stuff. Let's see. But yeah, the Red Line is in there, and that's coming up. I forget what I pitted it against. Maybe it was the Pennzoil. I don't remember. You guys know how many videos I put together on this? Holy cow. I lost track. I gotta go look to see what video is gonna post next, because I can't even keep track of it. Let's see. 18 oil tests plus 6 gear oil tests, $28 each. 672 plus the cost of the oil. Kevin's basically stating the reality of this. $1,000. $1,000 is what this whole thing is costing, more or less. And all I can tell you, folks, $1,000. And you know how much I made on the oil testing so far for the views on the videos on YouTube? I'll just tell you straight up, less than $10. Yeah. Try to explain that to Mama on budget day. Okay? So, buy t-shirts, folks. Help me out. I know that's a lot of t-shirts, but help me out. You know, I can't keep doing stuff like that. Let's just put it that way. So, anyway. Let's see. What are you saying, Wade? 10 bucks? Yeah. So much for return on investment, right? Oh, Lord. It's all fun, folks. I do enjoy doing it, but, you know, I'm going to probably have to hold back on a few other things, you know, like fixing my car. Holy cow, I got a budget to repair that yet, too. So I'll be glad when this oil series is done so I can concentrate on more personal issues, such as fixing my car, and instead of spending money on this. Just not a way to do it, but, you know, again, I can't stress enough. Buying the t-shirts is one way to help me out with everything that I'm doing. And if you really appreciate it, you know, then buy a t-shirt. It's that simple. So anyway, enough on the financial mumbo jumbo. I guess truth and disclosure is where it's at. So you guys know where it is for me and what's going on as far as what is spent. And you know, hey, $1,000 could buy me a lot of different things around the house, and you know, maybe a little vacation getaway for the weekend with the girls and things like that. Okay, so you know, think about that. That's all I can say. Let's see what else we got going on. Other than the fact that we got the oil thing going on, spring is coming up. I will tell you all that if since spring, some of you already have year-round spring, but for us northern folks, got a lot of salt, crud, sand, and all that stuff. If you are in climates like me, spring is coming. Get in there, get in before you start saying, I'm going to use my sunroof, my Bammer, my big moonroof. Just remember one thing before you get in there and start sliding that thing open and closed. Be careful, okay? Clean it, lubricate it. Watch my videos on how to do that. And this summer I will take and do some more work. Hold on a second. I was just notified that my battery is about to die. So let's see if I can't get some power to this thing. There we go. There, now the battery won't die. Phone was about ready to die, otherwise we're going to have a bad day. That tells you how long we've been running this, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, Atlanta, Florida, y'all got some good weather. Me, I got a snowstorm. Literally. Yes. It is snowing. It has been snowing since last night. And it's not light snow either, so I will tell you that the girls went outside. CB and Latin girl, she was outside with Nana Osha and Mom Osha, and then I was outside videotaping. They wanted to go build a snowman, which they never got around to. They're too busy rolling around it. Then MG comes out in her PJs and flip-flops and starts running around out in the snow. Yeah, go figure. Teenage girls are weird. But anyway, she froze her behind off. I know she did. She won't admit it, but I know she did. Anyway, let's see. Yeah. Why do you think I stay in a hotel so often? They're all upstairs right now, bouncing around like elephants, up and down on the floor. I can hear them walking and stepping and watching TV and everything else, and I'm down in the basement with the dog. You know, dogs and me are friends. Oh, there's LG. Say hi, LG.
Hey.
Here's Latin girl.
Hello, I'm bringing some cookies.
She brought me some cookies. You like cookies? I got Oreo cookies.
Yeah.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Goodbye.
Mwah, thank you. Uh-oh, here you guys go. I getting cookies, and now CB. Got CB here. Okay, have fun. There you go. You saw them. They made their presence known. See, I can't really escape. I can sit here in the office and try to hide as much as possible, but they all show up anyway. They don't leave me alone. I might get an hour of peace and quiet, and then they'll come down and see if I'm alive or what's going on. Yes, I am outnumbered. 5 of them. Got a 5. 5 women. Females, yes. But they're nice to me, so what can I say? Yes. They video bombed my stream. So what can I say? So anyway, I do have my Oreo cookies. I guess that is my my treat that I get. So let's see. Jack, what do I do for a living? I run around and collect Panamanian females and put them in my house and make my life miserable. No, I don't do that. Let's see, Jack. I am a private consultant. Yes. So I run around companies trying to make sure they don't hurt their employees. So that's pretty much what I do. So safety is number 1 or 3rd or whatever you guys want to call it. I prefer to be number 1 because it just makes my day easier. I hate to see people get hurt, and yes, I help people all day for my job, and then I help you guys too. So it was pretty much a no-brainer to do all this when I started the YouTube channel, because I'm so used to presenting information and training and everything. So I just sort of went into it in that aspect, and that's what I've been doing ever since. Let's see. They're trying to get rid of me. Cookies will take me out. Yes. Feed me full of sugar, turn me into a diabetic, create heart attacks, and kill me. It's a long-term plan, but it may work. I'm not eating them. They brought them to me. I may eat them later, but yeah, I'm just talking to you guys. So, Jack wants to know, where did I learn my mechanical skills? Well, Jack, there's this old-time thing going on in the public school system when I attended school called auto mechanics or shop class. Yes. Guess what? They taught us how to tear small engines apart, work on cars, weld, mill steel, to fix things. Imagine that. They don't teach kids that these days. And I think that is a crying shame that they don't do that. It is a sad, sad thing. So, and my brother and I, my brother is an A&P certified mechanic. I don't know if you guys know what A&P certified mechanics are. Airframes and power plants. Yes, he works on jet engines and airplanes and turboprops and all that stuff. And he does that work. My son is a diesel technician, diesel mechanic. He works on semis, heavy equipment like that. So, it's sort of in the family blood. He can do it. I think nothing of tearing into a car. I don't have a problem. I can follow directions. Did I like it? For a while, I just didn't really like it. I didn't want to be bothered with it. But now that I'm older again, younger, I liked it. Got in middle age, didn't really like it. Was busy with other things. And now that I'm older, I like doing it again. So I work on cars. I enjoy it. It's something I like to do, but it can be frustrating to me sometimes too. And if things don't go the way I want them to go, like my wheel bearings. But the thing is I also like the feeling of accomplishment afterwards. So that's my driving force. Can I do it? Can I do it right? Can I do it better than the guy I would have paid for? And will it work when I'm done? All good things that you want to make sure you have. And if I can give you that feeling by making these videos, then I've accomplished my task. Okay? I don't care who you are. We got ladies in here. We got guys in here that never been working on a car. And I would say that we got a couple of great female mechanics, as I'm going to call them, doing work here in the group. You guys can learn from Claude. Holy cow, she's done things I've never done. And she's done them well and got things working. So, more power to them. And if I give you the incentive to fix your own vehicle and save some money, then, I may have asked for donations or whatever in the past, but you know what? That's a good feeling too. And I appreciate that in return, in that, a thank you is always well worth it. So, that's the end of it, And no, Jack, my videos don't make anything look easy. Have you watched some of my videos? Have you seen the blood pouring out of my head or out of my hand? Some of these videos have been painful. Yeah, you guys got to watch these things. There's blood, sweat, and tears and everything else going on. But, holy cow. There's been a few. I remember I did one. I hit my head, and I had blood running down my head while I was talking to you on camera. I never took it off. So there's a video where I got blood running down my forehead while I'm talking to you because I didn't know I whacked myself that hard. It was totally oblivious to the fact I was bleeding. But a little blood means you didn't do the job right. Just ask Lego Mike. Yes. Ask Lego Mike. If you ain't bleeding, you didn't do the job right. Oh, Charity, glad you made it. Happy to see you there, lady. Let's see. What else do we got going on? Great Saturday, yep. Well, I'm glad y'all enjoy the videos, if nothing else. Let's see, Andrew says he ain't got no time to bleed. I generally don't have time to bleed either. I mean, holy cow. One video that I made, you guys didn't know it. I only posted it on Facebook, I think, a little bit. But I was wire wheeling some stuff, and one of the thin, small wires on the wire wheel fell out. Or flew out, and it embedded itself into my forearm, and I didn't even know it. And this wire was like 1.5 inches long, and it was in my arm, and I didn't even know it. Went home, got a shower, cleaned up. I was rubbing my arm because something itched, and I felt this sharp metal thing, and I went and got a tweezers and was able to grab just the end of it, and we pulled that wire out of my arm. Yeah, so didn't even know it. So, yeah, all sorts of stuff going on. thankfully nothing serious. And yes, I did have safety glasses on, so the wire wouldn't bed itself in my eyeball. Holy cow. I knew a guy that did that, and he almost died because they put him under, and he wasn't agreeable to the anesthesia, and he almost died from having a piece of wire in his eye when they went to go remove it. So, yeah, bad news. Rub some grease on it. Okay. Yes, if I cut, just a little dab of grease and off I go, right? What could possibly happen? And Andrew, yes, I know you know about wire wheels. That's part of your whole occupation there before, wasn't it? So, yeah, that's bad stuff. Bad juju, as they say. But you gotta watch what you're doing and protect yourself at all costs in the jobs that you do. Says, let's see, Lego. He bleeds a lot wrenching, and it's only scary working on the roach-filled buses as I have concerns over infections. I don't know, Lego. Why are you worried about roaches? You just light one up, and isn't that what it is? Oh, the wrong roach. Okay. Sorry, I didn't know. Figure you're in Florida. What are you gonna find in the bus? Okay, Paul's advertising some oil there if you want to buy Ames oil. $5.20 in a filter, shipping $83, I guess. So there's a deal for you there as far as the Ames oil goes. I'm thirsty, sorry. But don't yell at me for drinking on the job. Oh, let's see. What else we got going on? I just try to check the weather. I don't know. I'm not going to shovel snow. I figured Mother Nature put it there. Mother Nature can remove it. How's that? That sounds like a good deal. Let's see. Wait for some test results. I don't know what we're waiting on test results for. The blood test for me bleeding or what? Guess I didn't follow that conversation well. We got a fair number, about 8 or 10 people watching. That's a good thing. What else do we got going on? Well, spring and summer's coming up. Let's see. I got brakes. You guys know I bought those centric brake slotted rotors and the pads and everything. They're sitting here in my office, rusting. Oh, well, not rusting, but they're sitting here. Got dog hair on them. And then people ask me, well, why haven't you changed the brakes yet? Well, quite frankly, the brakes that I have are not worn out yet. I don't know what to tell y'all. They just have not worn out yet. I got over 130,000 miles on them, and they're still not worn out. I'm not one to... I bought them ahead of time because I was thinking, well, maybe this summer I'll change them. If they're looking a little bad, I'm going to do some maintenance on them, and I'm going to have them handy, and that way if I do decide to change them, I'll have them. But I may put the pads back on. I don't know. I have not checked them, and this spring I need to go in and do maintenance, so I will check the pads, and I will see what wear is on them, and the rotors are running smooth. 130,000 miles, and I don't have any fluctuations or surging in the stops or anything. So my brakes are in great shape, and I don't have anything that I'm concerned about. So I will check them. I'll do some maintenance on them. I'll pull them off, check the backside, check the rotors out, which I know the rotors are in good shape because I drive too much. They don't have a chance to rust on the inside like my wife's do. But I'm going to do that. You talking about this ratchet? Isn't this sweet? I keep this thing handy next to me because I can't seem to not have it with me. It's everywhere with me. I only want to put it in the toolbox. I just hang on to it. So it's a snap-on ratchet, in case y'all wondered. But let's see what else we got here. I got other things I'm doing on the brakes, and I will eventually replace them. But again, I gotta do maintenance and see where they're at. So eventually, I may be running those rotors on there. I do, again, a lot of maintenance is due on Lou. A lot of maintenance. Mostly my want, not necessarily a need. Let's clear that up first. I want to replace all the engine and torque mounts and transmission mounts. Why? Well, after 230,000 miles, do you think they probably could do with a little refresh? I'm thinking so. And I'm thinking out loud here, folks, and what I want to do. And I've discussed this with a few other key people, but what do I want to do with Lou? And I'm thinking that maybe if I save up my money here, I might search out and try to find a lower mileage 2013, 2014 3.5 and have it shipped, put it on an engine stand, and maybe do an oil, water pump replacement on that, or whatever I got to do, clean it up, do certain things to it with it on the engine stand, and then get a hold of a transmission and probably go with a new one. I don't want to go with a used one, but I don't want to put a newer engine with the old transmission. But I'm thinking, what can I do to Lou to refresh Lou at an economical pace? And if I can get a used engine, get it going, get a new transmission mounted up to her with torque converter and all that, then reinstall that all back into Lou and pull Lou's old engine out. Then what would I do with Lou's old engine? Well, if I get this engine ready to go, and I have it sitting there ready to go with a transmission, my goal is to drive Lou's current engine until failure. Then, at failure, I will tear that engine down piece by piece. And we will look at the failure firsthand. Heads off, cylinder, pistons out, everything. So we can see what happens. But I'm going to do maintenance on it and keep it running as long as possible. But I'm thinking that might be a way to go. And in turn, Mercy Grow would then have a new engine, a newer engine, and a transmission for a car for her to drive. I will then probably have a new vehicle to drive by then. So that is a cheap car for a young lady to have. And I'm just trying to see the best used car is the one I currently got, and the best engine and transmission is the one I work on. So that is a plan that I'm bouncing around, because the best used car, as I said, is the one I currently own. So I would consider that, and that I think is, in a lot of ways, a very viable option. So I'm still bouncing that around. Don't know yet, but I'm still bouncing it around. I think it's doable, and I'm not going to put an LS in it, Lego. Holy cow. Why would I put an LS in the Ford? Oh, I know people do it. It's just, I'm not into it. I have no video, Paul, on replacing engine mounts, but this coming early summer? There very well may be, because that is one of the things I want to do, is replace the engine mounts and the trans torque mount and the transmission mount. So let me refresh here all on the mount system here. On the passenger side is the quote-unquote engine mount. On the driver's side is the quote-unquote transmission mount. And on the lower underneath part is the transmission torque mount. Okay, so you got 3 names, 3 different mounts, 3 different functions. So in 3 different locations. So I plan on buying the mounts. They're going to be Ford OEM. I'm not going to go aftermarket on this stuff. But I will be replacing them. They're pretty straightforward. You just got to make sure you support the engine when you pull the mounts out. So you sort of jack the engine up just a little bit to take pressure off of it, put blocks of wood under it, etc., and then you undo the bolts, then bolt the new one in, and then let the pressure off, and then go to the other side and change the other one. And the torque mount, you just undo the Y pipe underneath there, and that way you can undo the bolt and pull the bolt out and all that good stuff. Not a big deal. Yeah, I'll do the video and I'll try to make it look as simple as possible. Hopefully the rust does not kill me and I can get it pulled out. Oh, I'm going to have a DIY rust proofing video this spring on Lou, because I'm going to rust proof Lou as much as possible myself. Okay? I'm not trying to stop the rust. I am trying to delay it. Lou is already rusty. Just to let y'all know that straight out of the bag. Lou is already rusty. So we're not looking at stopping the rust. We're looking at slowing it down to extend the lifespan maybe another 2-3 years. That's it. I'm not sure it's even going to be that, but that's what we're looking at. So that's my plan on that one, folks. As much as you might not like to hear about Lou being laid open and dismembered, that might be something that may happen here. I don't know what's going on as far as that, though. Let's see. But I get messages, all that other stuff. What is going on here? I got some messages here from some folks. Engines. I was just sent engine prices, so I'll have to take a look at those later. Yeah, southern cars don't get much rust. Northern cars get a lot of rust. And if Steven Aston was on, he'd say Canadian cars don't rust at all because it gets too cold and they don't use salt. So, yeah, but I'm in the sweet spot where they think sodium hydrochloride is definitely a great thing, and they use it liberally. So you can't get away from it, and that is the way it is. There's just no escaping it. And what can I say? It just happens. That's just the way it is. Oh, let's see what else we get here. I don't see anything else. Let's see. Oh, Lego, I missed your statement. Roads stand up and throw gang signs. They aren't relaxed at all. They carry off a dime on the floor. That's a pretty tough group there, Lego. I don't know if I'd want to hang around that group. Let's see. Steven, holy cow, where is Steven? Has somebody gotten rid of Steven? I would assume that Steven would have been online just chatting up a storm. So it's almost, wow, what happened to Steven? Where is Steven? We miss Steven. When he's not around, we miss him. When he is around, we can't get rid of him fast enough, right? We all love him, but he's not around. He's at work. Oh, does Steven work? How come he's always messaging me then during the day? What kind of work's he got that he's got to message me all day long? Holy cow. Anyway, I don't know what to tell him. Let's see. nobody got anything else they're asking? I got 7 people and just a couple making statements here. Charity, I don't know if she's around anymore or everybody's left. Let's see. Well, apparently Steven is online. He's on his, but he's not active. He's probably trying to sell a car, truck, polar bear, whatever it is you sell at a car dealership and wherever. You know, who knows? Who knows what he does? I don't know. I have no clue, but we'll figure it out. I'm sure he'll chime in at a certain point in time, and we'll all be able to hear what he has to say. Let me see one thing here, just so you know. I'll let you all know now. I'll refresh this page. Let's see. I put that oil video out today, and you know, the thing is, I put on YouTube. The last one I posted, they demonetized, and then eventually I requested it, and then they finally, after a week or 4 days or whatever it has been out, they finally allowed it to be monetized and not limited or anything like that. But the video I put out this morning that loaded, I have a grand total of 57 views on that video today. At this rate, I fully expect this video not to even exceed 100 views in the first 48 hours, and that ain't good. So if you guys see these videos, and you're in other car groups, these videos should transcend the Ford Edge, because I talk about oils, not the Edge. Share the information around to your other Facebook groups you're in that deal with cars. You know, Chevys, whatever, any vehicle that uses a 520 oil. This is good information for any of those groups that utilize that type of oil. So it's good information. So share it around, let everybody know that it's out there, and then of course that helps with the views and it helps me. Or just sit there and just put it on rewind and keep watching it over and over again. Even I don't watch that. I mean, I have to watch myself when I make the video. Talk about weird. It used to be weird watching myself when I made the videos, but now I'm used to it. But it's more a technical aspect for me. And good news, folks. You know, man, I'm going every direction here on you. But I wanted to remind you all that I just paid for a new video program update. And this one gives me more tools for graphics and some other stuff. So you might see a change in how some of my videos start out, because I got some pretty cool tools with this one. And it was, you know, they wanted like $100 for the upgrade, or whatever it was, 80, $100. And I waited them out, and they finally dropped it down to something that was very inexpensive compared. So I did the upgrade, and I can't wait to use it on some of my new videos, because I think it's going to be so cool. I'm getting in this video, editing thing. And we talked about the oil videos. Holy cow, folks. I don't think you realize, I talked about the money, but do you realize the hours that's involved in these things too? That 15-minute video you watched, just think of it this way, that I've told other people in some videos I do, just think that in terms of this, that for every 1 minute, there's about anywhere from 30 minutes to 60 minutes of work time invested into every 1 minute of video. You know, there could be as much as that. I've done some videos that is very, very true. Some of the shorter videos, not so much. If I can do them in one take and get the editing done pretty simple, it doesn't take as long. But when you figure in the amount of editing, the rendering, the taking the time to set up, take down, bring everything in, upload the video, load it back up, get it in the program, do the editing, add everything into it. Yeah, 30 minutes 30 to 60 minutes per 1 minute of what you watch is what it takes to make a video. So it's not just the amount of money that I spend, but it's also the amount of time that is spent. So, you know, if you think about it, that, you know, why am I doing this? Really, I ask myself, why am I doing this? Interesting, isn't it? I've yet to answer exactly why I do this, other than I get enjoyment. And I can tell y'all, the minute this does not become enjoyable to me is the minute I'm going to quit. So, you know, right now, I enjoy it. So, I will keep doing it. But someday, if it becomes too much of a pain, I may just up and stop. I don't know. So, but, you know, everything going in that aspect, I do enjoy it. And I enjoy you all, so that makes it great. And I wouldn't be sitting here for, what, 2 hour, hour and a half talking to y'all if I didn't enjoy it. So, yes, let's see. Ron says, share my videos to Bob the Oil Guy. Those folks will put you over the top. I don't know. I'm not a member of Bob the Oil Guy, and I don't know if he'd really appreciate me. You know, something I'm going to tell y'all right now is that I have been to other places and forums and Facebook groups, and, you know, as much as you guys love me on this and everything else, not all others are appreciative. Yes, so you got to be careful. You got to make sure you don't step on toes. And I don't know that Bob the Oil Guy would do it. And quite frankly, you know, that, you know, what seems like a good idea not necessarily always is a good idea. But, again, if you guys share it on your own Facebook page, you know, and you got 100 family members to watch, you know, or see it, and then maybe one of those share it to their 100, you know what I'm saying? You know, things can happen that way. So, you know, share them for me. That's all I'm asking. Just copy the link and paste it on your own personal page or your home page, and just let it go. See what happens. It takes you a click and a cut and paste, copy and paste, and bang, you got something out there. So that's all it really takes. And I keep getting messages here, keep getting pictures. Let's see. Talk about lug nuts or something here, and let's see, what else do we got? Got another picture. Let's see. People are posting me on their Facebook groups, and I just got a few folks that send me their posting on their pages. So that's what the flurry was all about. Other than the fact about lug nuts and everything, I don't know the answer to the lug nut thing because I haven't read the same thing. So I don't know. All we can do is ask people to actually use them and then go from there. Let's see, what else do we got going on here? Try to keep track of y'all. Oh, they're asking, well, if the bammer's closed, how do you lube it? Well, here, folks. First of all, before you open the bammer, you run a brush in there and water, and you will clean and spray in soap and water with a brush and soap and water and clean water. You run that brush through the rails on the back part of the roof rail with a small pipe cleaning brush or whatever. Clean out the grit, hose it out, maybe with some light spray of water. Get all the garbage out of there as much as possible before you open it. That's the key, yes, before you open it. Because all that garbage gets in those rails right along the top, going along the back. you get, and there's rubber seals on there. You can slide a brush in there, a pipe cleaning brush, a soap and water, run it back and forth, clean that all out, spray it down with a hose, get all that garbage out of there, so that when you do open it, it opens up pretty decent. So that's how you do it. Then once you do get it open, you clean the front side up. Got it? Yeah, that's how it works. And then you dry it if you run a rag or compressed air to blow the water out before you open it. Then you run a brush, clean up some lubricant back in there to re-grease everything, and then you open it, and then you don't have a problem. Then you clean the front. I will do the video on how to do this. It's very simple, and I'm not going to remove the glass this time because you don't need to. But my first video was essentially the whole hog video. You know, in other words, if you had to absolutely take everything apart, that was a video to watch. I will show you something simpler and easier for more maintenance sake, and how to do that so it'll be a lot easier for you. But I did the full disassembly because you get the hardest part out of the way, then all the maintenance is a lot easier after that once you figured everything out. And they say if you do post my oil videos on there, change that one post to public so everybody can see it, and that way when anybody goes by to your homepage, they can see that same oil video. Even though you posted it, all the other stuff will stay private, but if you change and click on there, that one will go public, and then only that video will be public, or that link that you did on there. No, we don't want to fill the channel up with Slick 50 before you open up your window. What kind of stuff are you guys talking about? Next thing you get that silver crystal poo additive that Mano's got, according to Lego. I don't know what that stuff is either. I'm afraid to ask where he got it. No idea what that stuff is. Let's see. What else we got? Interesting thing, I did read. I remember Slick 50 a long time ago, and yeah, Slick 50 was really big for a very short period of time. That's all I can tell you. And I saw some stuff. Then it became a quagmire of rights and how it was sold and who bought it, and then the proposition was that it wasn't the same as the original formula because the major oil companies changed it. It ended up being a big mess, and it just fell off. They still sell it, but it's not. The guy who designed and made the original Slick 50 was smart enough not to, I guess, sell the chemical composition rights. So he still maintains them, and the Slick 50 that you can buy, or any other name that it goes by, I think it's Arch Oil or something like that, or Arc Oil or whatever they call it, is not the same that it was. Well, maybe the Arch Oil is the new name for the Slick 50. I can't, but either way, the guy that owned the rights to it didn't sell them, so they ended up making different compounds of it and selling it as Slick 50. So there's a big suit that went on. People got sued, and people lost money. Businesses closed and were destroyed. It was a big mess. Okay, a lot of greed involved is all I can tell you. So that ended up being the whole gist of what happened, and those companies kept the name, but he kept the chemical. So, you know, and he's alive today. Last I checked. I mean, I just recently watched a video. Unless he's dead here recently, it was a little bit of an older video, about 4 or 5 years, I thought it was, or maybe, you know, I don't even think it was that old. But you know, he might be alive yet. I don't know, but I think he definitely was soured by the whole business experience, and just basically is trying to be quietly living the rest of his life. Let's see. That's a little bit of the history I know about Slick 50. Anyway, I used to be sold on it. I'd put Slick 50 in my car. Yeah, buddy, you were hot stuff. You put Slick 50 in your car. Hey, I got Slick 50. You got me a sticker and everything. Holy cow! But yeah, that didn't last long. I think they killed that all off, and then so. Quite frankly, I was young. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just dumping any additive in the car because it's burning oil faster. They made promises on everything. So, STP, soggy toilet paper. Yeah, that's what we called it. That STP oil additive said, hey, stop your engine using oil. Well, you know what? They had the STP oil. Came in that little can with a pop lid. And I added some of the STP to my engine. And yeah, I could say it was going to stop burning oil because the stuff came out like cold honey. You'd tip it upside down and it wouldn't even come out of the can. You had to sit there and wait for it to sort of ooze out. And we're talking like an 80, 90 degree day. That stuff was so thick. Holy cow. No wonder your engine didn't burn oil because the stuff was like a 190 weight gear lube. It was practically dumping grease in your crankcase. So, yeah, that was some nasty stuff there. I think that STP oil treatment was just shy of just taking a grease gun and shooting the grease down into your valve train and hoping for the best. That's about all that was. So that was some thick stuff. Anybody pipe up that remembers that stuff? Holy cow, that was it. We put it on bicycle chains because it clinged to the bicycle chains like nobody's business. It'd keep your bicycle chain from rusting because it's so thick it wouldn't even sling off like regular oil. So you're good to go. I mean, literally, it was just like cold honey coming out. It was terrible stuff. Studebaker Packard Corporation, STP, and who, of course, was the main spokesperson for it, but none other than, who was it? Come on, somebody's got to know who the main spokesperson was for STP. He was a race car legend. Who was it? Who was the race car legend that was associated with STP products? Trivia question of the day. If you don't know this, then you're living under a rock. Holy cow. This guy is like, even today, is the number one. That's right, Richard Petty. None other than the old Richard Petty. Which also, he was... I think it was Richard that was the first one to race, and the only one, I think, you guys correct me, was Richard Petty the only one to race a race car with a wing on the back? Answer that. Pretty sure, if you check it out, Richard Petty he won races, and he had that, I think it was Dodge, that he had. He had that big, humongous wing on the back end of the car. It was crazy, but the car was fast. And I think what they ended up doing was outlawing it after that because it was so fast. And then what was it? Who is the fastest qualifier for NASCAR? It's just a little bit of trivia here. And it was a Ford. It was a Ford. What kind of Ford was it? And who was driving it for the fastest qualifier? It wasn't Mario Andretti. Yes, it was the Super Bee, Kevin. The Super Bee was the car that Richard Petty was driving with the wing on it. So, let's see. That's right, Kevin. We had awesome Bill from Dawsonville with the Ford Thunderbird. Fastest qualifying time. That was the last year that they let that happen. After that, they put on big old fat, thick, small air intake restrictor plates and said, never again will any car go that fast around the racetrack. They essentially made the engines today suck air through a straw. If you were to allow them to put the full force of airflow through these engines, they wouldn't be able to turn. They'd be going so fast they'd just fly right out of the track. So, in a way, the cars that they're racing are not as fast as they can go. They are being held back. They might as well put a RPM limiter on them, a governor, for all intents and purposes, because they just don't allow them to breathe, and therefore no air, no power, and therefore that's all that's happened. Let's see. Mario was sponsored by STP when he won the 500 in the late 60s. Maybe they're Lego, but I was talking NASCAR. You're talking Brickyard, right? You're talking Indy. I never really knew Mario Andretti to be a NASCAR. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm getting old and forgot. But I thought Mario was IndyCar. Anyway, let's see. Yep, Dodge. Dodge was the powerhouse for a while. Now it's changed all up. But anyway, I know people go there and say, let's see, what is this? Whatever makes it happen, paperwork done. Let's see, Mano's up. He doesn't even know I'm online. Let me tell him. I am live now. Well, see if he catches on what's going on. See if Mano jumps in, says anything. He must have been taking a nap. He's old. He has to get a lot of naps in. Anyway, not going to be sticking around much longer here because I think we've been going at it here for a while. But I'm going to go get me something to eat because it's nearly dinner time. Even though they brought me cookies, yes, I'm going to save those for later. I'd rather eat dinner than eat cookies. But what else we got here? Well, not too much more going on. And, of course, I don't want to carry this on too long unless you guys got more questions. Let's see. Now, Ron says Richard Petty got in a fight with him and almost knocked him down at St. Elmo's Steakhouse in Indianapolis. Did I read that right, Ron? Okay, maybe it didn't quite happen that way. I can only assume that that old Richard probably had one or two. Or 3 or 4. Who knows? Okay, Mario Andretti ran in NASCAR and he drove a Ford. Okay, I'm just losing it. I'm not sure who's where. I know the Andretti brothers, but I always associated Andretti's more with the Indy cars. Let's see. Ron says, no, it wasn't a fight. I know that, Ron. I was just giving you a hard time. I'm sure that he probably had at least a few to drink, though. That might have contributed to the waywardness of his exit there, knocking you over almost. Let's see. Paul, I did get the oil results, and I posted the results up on YouTube. So you can check the results on the YouTube channel. It's there for you to watch and check out as far as what the results of the cocktail was. Let's see. Well, folks, as much as I'd like to be sticking around here, I think I'm going to call it a day. And don't forget, if you feel you can, help support the channel, help support me on everything I do by buying a T-shirt. Just please buy a T-shirt. That's all I'm going to ask you. I gotta justify keeping this site up for the T-shirts, so I gotta have some sales on that, even if it's 1 or 2 a month. I gotta have something going on. But if nothing else, this is MACT, and of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, remember, like and subscribe to videos. You don't necessarily have to like them, because quite frankly, that has nothing to do with how YouTube does anything anymore. So liking it is irrelevant. The fact that you are watching it and hitting the dislike button only gives me minutes to view, and also counts as a view, which is exactly what YouTube wants to see. So thank you for hitting either button, either way. And remember, I don't have any type of comments activated on YouTube. If you do want to get a hold of me on Facebook at MACTFORDEDGE Facebook, and there you can join and get any questions you have answered. Remember, the Band of One always plays some great music, so of course, participate and go to the Band of One group page that is in Facebook, and like and subscribe to all his music. And last but not least, my fee at the Florida Day, and I'm having a great day, and I want you all to have a great day too. And then Mercy Girl's got a couple one-liners after this for y'all, and then maybe some bonus footage later at the end of this for the YouTube channel. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you for watching MACT's videos, and remember to like and subscribe. This is a Mercy Girl production.